Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we're covering the new update. We got 3 cars to take a look at, and I'm going to be doing these one by one and kind of be taking my time with each car. Like I did the last update, I did that with all 4 cars we got in last month's update. So I'm going to take my time with them, show you guys each car individually in each video. And today we're starting off with my personal favorite of the bunch. If you guys didn't see the last update trailer, we got the BMW Z4, the Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9, and the Mercedes Unimog, which is a very interesting addition, but at the same time, I don't hate that it's here. Well, first we're going to try out the Z4, because that is by far my favorite of the bunch, and yeah, I've got 750k credits to play around with here, so don't expect anything too crazy with these builds. I'm probably just going to focus on them stock for now. But I do want to see what we can do with these cars. Now, I'm going to go here to Brand Central, but I already did poke around in the used car dealership, so I know that I can get this car for cheaper. So it starts at 60 grand, 227 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque. This is the 3.0i, which, if you're familiar with these cars in real life, it is more than likely running the M54 engine. Not the N54 turbo, but the M54 in a 6-cylinder. I would have liked to have seen the Z4M Roadster be chosen versus the 3.0i variant, but I'm not going to complain. We got this car for free, and GT does an excellent job with their modeling and the quality of the cars they add to the game versus other games that I've played where everything just seems kind of rushed and they just don't drive very good or they don't look very good. So starts out at 483 performance points. I have a feeling that this car with the right mods will be a definite grinder for the WTC 700 event to get some money, and I think it'll be pretty good at it. It's got a really good layout. It weighs 2,800 pounds. I'm sure a little bit of weight reduction, this thing will just kill it, and I think it would be an excellent car for that. But like I said, you can get this car for much cheaper. I'm going to clear the notification. It's going to drive me crazy if this notification is still here, so I'm going to just very quickly do that. We're going to go to the used lot, though, because I, want to save a little bit of money. It's about 20 grand, which is a little under 20 grand, as the car costs 44,600 used. Has 54,000 miles, and I love having high mileage cars in this game. It's the weirdest thing. I'm just weird about this kind of stuff. So let's take a look around to the car in VR real fast before we buy the car and take it out on track. Hear that 6-cylinder? Alright, sounds pretty alright. So we got it in the, I believe it's Alpine White is the color code for this one. You got our kidney grills, little strut, little brace bars going through there. Obviously this is an NA car, so no intercooler there. What you're seeing is the radiator. I've been seeing some stuff on Facebook about this car having some pretty cool aesthetic mods. But what I want to do right now is focus on the interior of the car. So you guys can see here, this is modeled after the 6-speed manual, not the really awkward automatic these cars came with. 87,000 kilometers on the clock on this one. And I kind of like the layout in here. It's definitely dated. Like, when I see this car, I think it's old. But at the end of the day, it's a car based on the E46 chassis. And the E46 is pretty dated as well nowadays. Still a great car, though. I like the layout, though. This is, of course, the E85 generation of these cars. Or I believe it's the E85 generation. I can't remember if that's the first or second gen models that came with the N54 and all that kind of stuff. But all in all, pretty good interior. Alright, let's stop lollygagging. Let's buy the thing and go and drive it. So I'm going to drive around stock first to show you guys the car in its stock form. And then we're going to go have some fun with it later in modified form. More than likely, that might be a racing modified video. But I do kind of really quickly poke around and just see what engine swaps are available for it. If I had to guess, no, there's not one at all. Okay, that was unexpected. I fully expected a P65 swap. I fully expected that to be an option for this, but no engine swaps is kind of a surprise. We'll poke around the mod shop a little bit. Just want to show you guys some of the stuff you can do with it. Like I said, we're going to just, for this video, enjoy the car stock. Usually I go and modify these cars and have a ton of fun with them, but this time around I'm changing it up. So, we've got a little baby splitter, and then what appears to be, I believe that is the M bumper. I'm not quite familiar, but it definitely is more aggressive than the stock bumper. And then kind of the same thing with the side skirts. You lose the 3.0 badge for one. It just kind of goes to like a base Z4 kind of look. And then you've got a little baby side skirt. On the rear side, you lose the antenna and the badge work and all that kind of stuff, and the rear parking sensors, oddly enough. Or you can get a diffuser. Obviously, for me, I'll probably be using the diffuser, full race car. Wings. You got this little duckbill type deal. This is like very CSL-ish. Of this kind of spoiler, which I don't like how it looks. I think that's kind of ugly. And then you have, of course, your track wings, your custom wing set. So pretty good options there. I did see the wide body for this car. I'll show that briefly. It looks kind of silly. You got the hood pins, typical hood pin options, and a roll cage option, which is kind of a surprise. I guess because there's no hardtop roof on this car. Light bulb wise, same old here, nothing crazy. So yeah, that is the cosmetic stuff. I want to show you guys the wide body too, just because it looks so stupid. Like, it's quite silly. Because it just looks like they just stuck on fender flares. Like, they don't look race car. I guess, like, seeing the rivets makes me think more like Rocket Bunny type stuff, which makes me think it's a little less stupid. But yeah, it is definitely, especially the sunken wheels, it looks so dumb. But regardless, I'm sure this will make for a really good look for some show cars in this game, people who do car shows and stuff. But anyway, no more talky about the modifications and stuff. Let's go drive this thing in its stock form and enjoy it. All right, we're at Ager Nordwand. Someone who's good with Swiss can correct me on that and tell me how to properly pronounce that. But as you can see, here's our leaderboard here. I've done some fast cars here. So the C8 is kind of like a full race car build. We've got the GTI Roadster VGT. This M3, I believe, is the S54 car I built. Have my Mark 7 builds, my TT race car, a different M3. So maybe the 736 is actually the V8 build, the GTR that I did a video on a while back. And yeah, we've got a top 10 here. I don't think this car will touch any of these except for this Comfort Soft TT and the E36 down here in the bottom. Outside of that, I don't see this car being really competitive at all here at stock. I do expect this car to take 12th place or 11th place, whichever was the lowest in its stock form. So yeah, let's go enjoy it. Oof, yeah, lots and lots of understeer, but we are on Comfort Soft tires, so one of the lower tier tires in this game. All right, let's let her eat a little bit. little bit of air there. I'm running the reverse layout just because I feel like the leaderboard's more competitive here. I did not want to run it in the forward layout where I've run like the 787B and the GT1 and stuff like that. And plus I just like looking at the mountains more, and you get to do that a lot with the reverse layout versus the main forward layout. A little bit of a slide there, nothing too crazy. I'm going to lift a tiny bit coming in here because I don't want to upset the car too much. I think this car with the wide body, the aero work and all that stuff would be, I don't even know if the wide body is necessary, but just the aero would make a great track car for some of the early game. With some extra power, obviously. Some more power, better tires, maybe like sport softs or something. And some aero would go a long way with this car. Because overall, I like the driving dynamics. It drives incredibly well. Like I said, the tires are not doing this thing any justice. Oh, the tail end. Sliding about. Foot down. Into third gear. And a 1:21.0. I think that is definitely the slowest time I've run around here. We'll do another tour just for fun. See if I can beat my time here. For those who didn't know, my Ghost is set to be about 2/10 up on me at all times. I'm gonna throw it a little earlier there. Okay, let's see if I can take this a little better. Doesn't really look like it. This thing is very slidey. These tires really are not doing this car justice at all. If this car was on sports softs or even racing hards, I think this would be a joy to drive at stock power, but yeah, this is definitely a car. It's not like a race car like the Group 3s where you can kind of get away with going into second gear. At some of these tight corners, you have to actually go into first. There's just not a lot of power to throw around, but then you just wind up banging limiter. So, wasn't quite able to beat the time there. We might bring him back in a little bit though, because that slide there, but it doesn't really help that I slid too. All in all, though, it's a really solid car in stock form. I think some very minor tweaks, this thing would be even better. So let's check out the leaderboard. I do believe this is dead last on the leaderboard. Definitely looks good, though. Like, it's a good-looking car. It's just slow. So let's see. We definitely 11th. Yep. And by a pretty large margin, too. Considering the next car up at 594 performance points, and the car above that at 530, and we're at 480, that doesn't entirely surprise me. And I believe it's it's now the second place car, the slowest car I've ever done on comfort softs around here. The TT, I actually did a 117 on comfort softs, just crazy considering the E36 was on sports softs. So I must have been really driving the crap out of that TT. But yeah, all in all, first little showcase of the Z4, really solid car. I think I'm going to do a racing modified video with this in this part. I think I'm going to do that with both this and the 206, or the 205, excuse me, where I'm just going to do like a racing modified video after doing the initial showcase video of these cars for this update, because I want to showcase the modifications in these cars in one place. And I feel like that's a better place to do it. It's just in a racing modified video. It's going to give you guys my initial impressions of this car myself here. The Unimog will be a different story, just because I don't find that truck interesting enough to do a standalone racing modified video on. So we'll mess around with that one, but I'm gonna play my hand. I'm gonna show you guys my hand a little bit. I am gonna do a rally video with that truck. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.